Hello everyone, and welcome back to Conquest, where today, Asthosus is not the only thing we'll be conquering. But what else are we conquering? Well, we'll get to that in a second. First of all, let's go ahead and figure out where we're going, and last episode I said we were going for Mune, or Mune, however you want to say it. So we're gonna do that. This is an eradication threat sector, and the units equipped with super buffed shield generators have been sent to stop you. Retaliate with your most powerful weapons. So it looks like the enemies deal a little bit of increased damage from everything, and they have shields that possess a multitude of their health. So everything is going to be super tanky, so we need to put up turrets as fast as possible and spam out as many as possible. Luckily, I tend to do that anyway, so hopefully they give us a lot of prep time, because we're probably going to need to use Drayson for the majority of this sector. Alright, well, let's get to going. Alright, well, off rip, there's 14 minutes to prepare, I guess more like 15, 9 waves total, and we have no starting structures. We do have a decent amount of starting resources though, which is not bad. Speaking of resources, it looks like we are kind of in the middle of a alcove type area. It looks like kind of up here is completely walled off, so nothing will be able to pass this way, but we probably will be able to run a single pipe of items through here from what I'm seeing. Bridges can move 3 total, and it looks like there's a single batch right here. There's one right here. You can go here and there, and it looks like you cannot actually do that because there's no 3 on this side. We were so close. But anyways, if we do ever want to go this way, we can use kinetic propulsors because they will be able to reach. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Luckily, we do have a lot of basic starting resources in our little starting biome, so that's going to be pretty good. We have a nice patch of sand right up here. Lignite looks to be a problem because... okay, I take it back. There's plenty right here. Moving on, we've got a whole bunch more basic resources, which is concerning because usually you don't get this much basic resources, so this is not good. We've got a nice obsidian biome down here with, oh my god, look at all of them. I'm scared, dude. There's no reason to be giving us this much resources unless we're going to need it all. Oh no. All right, we got red sand over here, which we will be using for the water griddles, because that's a thing now. So we're definitely going to be using this because there's, water right down here. So this will probably be all the water that gets purified, and then we can use the water up here for normal water. And then we've got our barite biome. Not a whole lot of liquid barite. I mean, I guess there's a pretty decent amount right down there, but there is a lot of normal barite tiles, so we'll be using that. We got another default biome with a core tile. We got another obsidian biome down here. This, if I had to guess, was an enemy spawn, although maybe not because there's just so many geodes here. Hey, let's see. We've got another tiny barite biome up here. That looks like an enemy spawn if I've ever seen one. Another red sand, another normal sand, and we got a huge red sand biome, which also might be the enemy spawn. Who knows? To be fair, the enemies are going to have to go all the way around in a circle if they want to reach us, if they spawn here, which is what I'm going to assume is the case. All right, let me try to walk over here. This is going to waste a little bit of time. I mean, I already know I can't walk into the walls, but, like, is there a point where I can cross here? There is. I bet that's why this is here. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. So that's probably why that's there, so you can actually walk over here, because this is probably where the main defense is going to go, and that looks to be the enemy spawn point. All right, perfect. Well, we know what we need to do. This is going to be hard, I can already tell. Let's get to work. And while I'm getting to work, instead of just time-lapsing the first bit, I think we are going to talk about the second thing which we are going to be conquering today, which is the bitrate. Those of you who have been keeping up with the series probably know that the last couple episodes, the bitrate has been absolutely horrendous, and I have no idea why. Well, luckily, I figured it out. So essentially what the problem was is that I upgraded my editing software, DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use, by the way. I upgraded that to the most recent version, and that was basically the huge mistake. Apparently they updated their YouTube presets when exporting, and it just kills the bitrate no matter what you do. I tried even recording at 4K, and it was still horrendous. So, if anyone is out there rendering with DaVinci Resolve using the YouTube preset, don't. It sucks. We're now back to the normal export settings. We're not using any presets at all, and that should have fixed the problem, hopefully. We will see. I mean, I will be closely monitoring just in case it doesn't fix it, but I feel like that is going to, basically fix our bitrate problem. But also, while troubleshooting that entire problem, I did realize that I was initially recording at 2.5 megabits per second, which is also not very good. So I feel like this would be a pretty good time to upgrade basically the entirety of my recording setup. So now we're going to be at 1080p 60 FPS instead of 30, and we have a much higher real bitrate that isn't getting corrupted by DaVinci Resolve's stupid presets. So hopefully the video quality will be increasing for the basically foreseeable future until I can get a better graphics card.
Hey, yo, what the f***?
Anyways, Dematite and Fahrenheit are now in, and you know what? I feel like it's time-lapse time. Let's get some stuff done. Alrighty, think we are at a pretty good point. We've got about 4 minutes left before the first wave gets here, which I am a little concerned about because we do not have any really like high tier resources yet. Chromium is going to be the next thing I'm going to be getting. Lithium is obviously currently a problem because we need chromium to upgrade that. But I did just go ahead and throw down 4 lodestone basins. I feel like this is a little overkill, and I spent a lot of time doing it, but lodestone is such an important resource that I feel like it's going to be completely warranted later. But obviously not now, because we have 4 minutes to prepare. I'm thinking we need to get some, chromium in place, like yesterday. So that's kind of the goal right now. I'm feeling like I might just want to put it over here. Well, I guess, over here wouldn't be a horrible idea either. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go put it over here because this is the line where the obsidian comes in from. I am going to be building, I think, just 1 or 2 for now. I'm not going to do the whole, 3 thing yet. Mostly because we just don't have the resources for it. Of course, now the only problem with getting chromium is we need a whole bunch of random stuff. And we are going to be powering this essentially with both pressure schematics because that's, the only thing that we can really do. Power is going to be a huge problem, but hopefully since we're getting a little bit of this chromium, we will be able to use this to make a diffusion reactor. Just the one, I think, just like we did a last sector, and that should hopefully tide us over for power for the foreseeable future. I feel like just running even one diffusion reactor is just perfectly enough for basically everything, and considering it only takes 70 chromium, they are actually not that expensive, which is, not bad. So let's see if we can actually get this up and running. Let me go plan out the water. Oh god, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time for this. Alright, and there we go. That is one chromium thing in place. Of course, I built this entire thing backwards, so I have to flip around the conveyors all the time, but now we have a little bit of chromium going into the core. That should be enough to get us some power, a little bit of ammo, and a pretty decent turret placed down somewhere over here. So I'm thinking in the beginning, we are going to put the chokehold right here. This is our best option, let's be honest. And if we just have the enemy just kind of walk along this line here, and then we can put the turret kind of just in the area over here, and then hopefully it'll just get blasted as it walks along up here, assuming there's only one. I have a feeling there might be a substantial amount of enemies. 15 minutes is not really a whole lot of time to prepare. I feel like they probably intend for you to get chromium in that time, and then maybe a chromium turret or 2, and that should be enough to defend. I don't know, though. And let's try to beef up the walls kind of near where the turret's gonna go, so probably just right around here. And I'm thinking we probably want something that has single target damage, which would probably be the Myriad or the Typhoon. The Typhoon. I feel like this got buffed as well. I feel like I saw that somewhere, but I don't remember. Who knows? Whatever. Okay, you know what? Let's just put in our Typhoon right here. We do not have enough chromium to build the thing just yet, but that's fine. Once we get this thing built, hopefully this will be enough to defend against the first wave. I highly doubt it, but it is worth a try. Next order of business, we probably should upgrade our basic resource production. We do not have a whole lot of dematite, and we can go ahead and throw down a couple more just random drills everywhere to get a little bit extra dematite into our core, which is, there's that. I mean, that's not going to do a whole lot, but it's going to do better than nothing. And I think now it's about time that we start saving up to upgrade our lithium factories. Unfortunately, again, all of the chromium is currently going into ammo, which is probably for the best. Well, I guess while we're here, I could just go ahead and throw down a couple more of these, even though they aren't going to be used right now. At least they'll be here ready. Okay, only 3 enemies, and I'm assuming they only spawned up here. Yep, we've got a Shiv. Dude, why do I keep forgetting the names of the units? This is a Parave, I think. Shanong, yep, and then a Shiv. Okay, there we go. One of each. That Typhoon surely can take that out. And we have another 15 minutes to prepare. Okay, I think we might be okay. Just in case, let's just put another one. I don't know if we're going to even have enough chromium for that, but I mean, you know, you can't be too careful, right? We do need to obviously get more power. We have all the pressure, we have all the water, we have all the obsidian. It's just powering those is rather hard. So I think we are going to go ahead and do the core zone attack. It got through. What? No way. 2 typhoons isn't enough. Insane. Does this thing still have a shield? Oh my god, it still has a shield. What? Nah, man, this is ridiculous. Huh? Hold on. Is there something that I can... Anything here that just takes loads? Here we go. Okay. This is insanity. Good lord. Please tell me the Shenong died at least. Okay, the Shenong died. I feel like it got to there! Oh my god. Okay, no, we're cooked, dude. They have so much shield. Okay, hold on. Let's get some healing on this core here. Good lord, dude. I'm gonna leave these spray here. They're gonna be the last line of defense. That's insane. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't over-prepare. I under-prepared. They're tier 1s, by the way. If there's a tier 5 at the end of this, we're cooked. We're cooked.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Okay, stop yapping. Let's get to going. We need to build the diffusion reactor. This takes 1 SIF vent, 30 heat, which is going to take a bunch of lignite. I'm going to use this up here. And we've got some nitrogen. I feel like that's going to use basically all of our obsidian. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. All right, so that should be an entire diffusion reactor setup minus the nitrogen, which we're going to have to get from the obsidian line. We're going to have to go upgrade obsidian because I do want to have some in the core to actually, you know, build things. And also, that thing died right there. Insanity. Oh my god, dude. Why is it flashing like that? Oh, wait. Oh, God. Okay, let's, maybe not plug it in yet. That thing was completely unstable. That could have been really bad. Okay, and then if we should be able to just build, and that should be completely stable, nitrogen, and that. Perfect. We now have power. We no longer have to worry about power for at least a little bit. Very nice. Let's run that into here, which gets ran into these solar panels here, which should mean that this over here has 2,000. Perfect. All of these should now be powered as long as we just do that and that. Boop, boop. And now we have chromium for days. Nice. Let's go ahead and throw in some more turrets. Maybe we want to wait on that, though, because we can actually make some more advanced things now. Should we upgrade obsidian? Yes. Let's do that. And while that's happening, we can wait for more lithium to build up, upgrade our lithium setup, get more lithium. Life is good. Kind of. You know, a single tier 1 got through, and I'm literally panicking right now. This is so bad. All right, well, there we go. We got 6 more geode crackers. I decided we are not going to be doing slag cooling, mostly just because I don't want to run a huge water line down here. I don't really have a whole lot of water. If I got it from here, I'd have to go all the way up around through the defense. It'd get shot at every time. Whatever. We've got the geodes. Let's use them. And also, now that this is happening, I feel like we are going to use this new line that I'm about to build for Fahrenheit, and then this one will get turned into pure obsidian, because then we can actually filter some things. And we can have the pure obsidian line running, everything will be nice, blah, 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 whatever. Let's do it. All right, well, unfortunately, we ran out of lithium, but we should be able to have a pure Fahrenheit line and a pure obsidian line. Never mind, we did it completely wrong. This is pure obsidian, this is pure Fahrenheit. That should be perfectly fine, I think. Is this getting backed up? Yes. I feel like we're gonna have to go fix that, but let's just let it settle for a little bit. Okay, whatever. It should be fine. Nice. Next up, lithium compactor setup. We need to wait until we have a little bit more lithium. That's just fantastic. We are making enough, which is good. Let's just get some more dematite because we have the time to just sit here. We're going to need it to upgrade the core because I want to do that as soon as possible. All right, well, there we go. There's a little bit more dematite, and then we should be able to upgrade the core as soon as possible. I feel like we can remove the mender now. Nice. And we still don't have enough to build the lithium setup, which is annoying because I want to put it right here, although maybe we don't even have room for that, so let's move it over here. That makes more sense. Okay. Which, that does mean I can actually put this in while we're waiting. All right, well, there we go. There is our lithium upgraded. We're getting that into the core. Perfect. Okay, we can go ahead and strip out some of this, although it's kind of not really super important to remove these lines. But, I mean, I'm just sitting here waiting for lithium to come in anyway, so we might as well. Once that's done, I feel like our next goal is probably going to be barite vesmonium. That does mean we are going to have to move up our defenses. We're going to have to run some huge lines of everything, and that's not really something that I particularly want to do. And we are definitely not going to be removing the 2 typhoons over here. This is going to be backup. We're going to need that. Okay, we do have about 5 minutes. So why don't we start running power maybe, nope, not water. We're gonna make the griddles over here. Oh, right, yeah, we can, oh my god, we're gonna cool everything with like epic oasis water and not just like the boring old oasis water. Oh my god. And then we're going to work on barite, vesmonium, and we're going to put our defense probably up here so we can have access to this entire biome down here. And you know what, since we already have the power line over here, it would be kind of a waste, since I'm already over here, to not just get some starter barite. We can just chuck in a couple of querns and then just plug this all in and call it good. So there we go, barite's going in. We're getting a little bit of that to actually build some things. Nice. We can use barite walls as well because we're not going to be using barite for much else. I mean, at this stage of the game, that is. All right, let's build some really nice defense up here because we're going to need it. And you know what? Since there's only one way to go, it might be one of those things where we really do just want to completely wall this off. The real question is, are we even going to have enough time to build all this? Maybe let's take out some of the Cavalier here. Those are the ones that I don't really need. And I think while we're actually just like building over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and get the setup planned for making some actual water. This might be one of those times where it is actually worth it to do the lignite pumps. Yeah, it's gotta be, right? We're doing it. Screw it. And even with a setup like this, we can run 17 of the water pumps. All right, so the defense is mostly in place, about 15 seconds till the enemies are here. I'm getting a little worried. I don't even think this is gonna be enough. It's not water cooled. Everything is going not good. Well, I say not good. I feel like we're doing a pretty good job, but also I almost got cooked by tier 1s, and that kind of, you know, that kind of scares me. So maybe we're not doing so good. I'm not sure. But anyways, I think we have everything set up and ready to go. We just need to, you know, not die. 3 enemies. I have a feeling they're tier 2s. Indeed, we have a... Is this a Trigon turret? No. This is actually embarrassing. How do I not know the enemy names? Okay, you know what? It's fine. We got this guy, and this guy. Whatever. Maybe I can actually get water to that before they get here. I seriously doubt it. This is like such a mess down here. I don't even... No way. We're building all this. Okay, and also I have to build the griddles here, and that's also not going to work. So, each griddle takes 2 pumps here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bit. So, if I could fit one more water pump in there, we could run 7 of these, which is insane. That's too much. Let's just run 2, and we'll see how that goes. Who knows? And now I have to configure all of those, which is great. So, are we fighting yet? We're about to. All right, let's see how this holds up. Okay, so that... Okay, you know what? We're doing pretty good. Those shields are extremely strong. Ooh, and power. Is power fine? Are we gonna be catastrophic problems? Oh, we're fine. I forgot to put batteries in, which is kind of why I was concerned, but yeah, who knows. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get this plugged in as well, because I am using those kind of drills. All right, and it looks like we did actually take out that last guy. Yep, it literally just died. Perfect. Okay, we got another 15 minutes to prepare. This time it's going to be focused purely on barite, vesmonium, maybe Drayson if we can get there, and probably more power. We now have, what is this? 72 purified oasis water per second. We can go ahead and upgrade that just because we can. We might as well at this point, right? That should be plenty of purified oasis water. This will get ran in straight over here and into that line right there. Okay, that will be cooling for our turrets over here, which is very nice. That'll increase our fire rate. Okay, honestly think it might be time to just get another thing for power. We are making plenty of obsidian. We have 4.5, and it's time to upgrade the core right now because we desperately need that, and we don't need units, so we're just going to go for substratum. Increased build speed, always love to see it. Let's go ahead and get another one of these down. I feel like we may want to just run the solar panel one. Wait a minute, hold up. I had a pretty good power schematic, didn't I? Yeah, I don't know, but it's cool. You just put in water and I think red sand. Yeah, let's do that. I like that idea better. Let's go build one of those. Still looks like lithium is a problem, by the way. I don't know if I could upgrade that. We really... Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, we got enough. Let's do it. All right, well, there's another 8 lithium per second because we were running out. That should solve that problem. All right, so we were going to do another power schematic, and I was just going to do the red sand and water thing because we have plenty of that. So let's go ahead and get that set up next. You might even be able to run, you know, a lot of these. I'm not really sure how many, so let's just kind of see what happens, right? I don't even know how much red sand this takes, but you know what? At the end of the day, I don't really care. All right, now, how did we actually feed this thing? I don't remember. Oh yeah, this is a heavy unloader, that's a heavy unloader, so we need to run red sand like that. Yeah, that looks pretty fine, and then we can grab some water off of this line because we are just making so much water, we don't even need to be concerned about it. And we also need to remember to throw in some batteries, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, I don't want to put them there, I want to put them very far away, so we actually don't have them violently explode if the enemies ever do get through. That would be bad. Yep, I think I figured out where the water goes. It goes right over there. Okay, perfect. That should be kicking up and running. Just got to give that a little bit to figure out what it's actually doing. Nice. Red sand filter power schematic. I think this should make about 1,500. Let's go build these batteries up here next. This is going to take a substantial amount of time, but we are going to get a lot of extra power out of this, so it's definitely going to be worth it. And while that's happening, I guess I can also go ahead and plan out the Vesmonium area. That sounds like a pretty good idea. Now, since we do have a lot of water, it might be worth just cooling down the barite because that is substantially easier to do. Yeah, let's just do that as a matter of fact because that is way easier than doing anything else. Alrighty, well there is, I think we can run 10 coolers worth. I don't actually know how much liquid barite I have. I didn't really count. I probably should have, but I didn't, so whatever. Alright, Vesmonium occulter going down probably right there. In you go. We are going to have to get liquid barite from up here because I did not save any extra for the actual thing. And in you go, liquid barite. Pressure is easy, as always. And now we need a lignite. Now that is a problem. I was going to use this down here, but obviously I'm using this for water, so that's not going to work. So we're going to have to go all the way over here and use all of that. Go ahead and grab that barite, and then we can get Vesmonium. And then, of course, we're going to run probably... I feel like 2 Dresden Crucibles is going to be the best option, as max efficient as we can get them, just because Dresden is very important. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know if we're gonna have time to upgrade our defense for the next wave, which is scary. I'll probably just go ahead and throw down more Crosium turrets. Maybe I can get a Tralix in there now that we have Vesmonium in. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. All right, in goes the lignite, and out comes the Vesmonium. Perfect. Now, of course, we have to run this all the way back to the core, which is just so fantastic. I feel like I may just want to shove that onto the barite output line because, yeah, let's just do that. That's going to be substantially easier. We'll just have to do a lot of filtering at the core, but that's not really a huge concern. I should not have respawned back here. That was stupid. Now we have to walk all the way over to the defense. We're going to go ahead and get that upgraded. I think what's going to have to happen is we are going to... Well, you know what? No, never mind. I was about to say we could just try to build the Dresden Crucibles, but they take 80 each. We are getting a decent amount. No. We need to survive. We need to survive. I was going to say, if we can get those going, we can build our final defense, like, next wave. That's just not going to happen. Let's just try to hold out for maybe 2 more waves at this defense over here, and then we'll see what we can do. Yep, I did manage to get a billow, so that will spray the enemies down when they get even closer. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get some more turrets up in here. We do now have a Tralix, so let's go ahead and put that in the corner right here. Let's just go ahead and kind of do something like this to kind of coax them into going this way. There's less walls over here, so hopefully they'll want to go to this corner, which is where everything is going to be able to shoot them. And since the billow's now up there, let's go ahead and remove these billows. Maybe we'll keep just one over here. That's not a bad idea, just in case. And we can fill this backline with more Crosium turrets. That'll do just fine. Okay. And since it really does appear to be single targets that keep showing up, we're going to go for Typhoon. They specialize in single target damage. That sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Alright, so we do have Guardians approaching in 2 waves. I would assume that to be the tier 5s, although I guess I can't really prove that, right? And we do have basically all of our turrets in. I've got a couple more coming in over here. That's going to be pretty nice. Alright, what do we actually have here? Is it just the tier 3s? It is just the tier 3s, which means I assume tier 4s next wave and tier 5s on wave 6. Surely this defense is strong enough to take care of these guys. I'm going to assume it is, which is never a good thing to do, and we'll just come back and check on that every, like, 5 seconds. Right now, we need to focus on getting our Dresden up and running. But I guess, you know what, now we gotta watch. Oh yeah, we're gonna survive that just fine. There's so many turrets here. Yep, they're getting absolutely obliterated, and I have nothing to worry about, probably. Okay, let's go ahead and get our Dresden Crucibles in place. I feel like this is a pretty good open area to do this in, and our Vesmonium is coming in right here. Let's do this. We're going to be consuming, I think it's 1 per second with 2 of them with full boost, which means we are going to need big solar panels, but you know what? That's fine by me. Let's just go ahead and slap it down right here. We are going to need 2 vent boosted nitrogen, which can come from right here, so that's not a concern either. Wait a minute, I don't actually know if you need to boost the nitrogen for these. Should we just try it normally without? Because I feel like liquids never need to be boosted. I could be completely wrong here, but I don't know. I guess let's find out, right? Do we have like a water line anywhere that I can just use? I mean, we got a little bit here. This is where we're getting our other nitrogen. So yeah, you know what? Even just right here would probably be a decent spot to put these. And if this doesn't work, we do have vents. We'll just have to move everything. Slight time efficiency loss, but I mean, you can't win them all, right? All right, there we go. Both of those are running. Now, are we running out of nitrogen, or are we doing just fine? Looks like we are doing it just fine, keeping up and steady. Okay, I'm not concerned about that. We will come back and check just in case. But for now, it looks to be fine. Let's get this into the core ASAP. Run it into the Barite Vesmonium line, because why not? And there we have some Dresden. All right, well, there we go. Now we just have to wait for this to build up, and we can actually build some real defenses. Now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this into a cargo base station. We do have to grab some silicon tetrafluoride, which we can get from right there, but this will eventually get loaded up into here to fly off to the ammo area, because I am not running a giant pipe. That sounds annoying. And it does look like these are, in fact, running out of nitrogen, so let's go ahead and upgrade those to a vent tile instead. All right, there we go. Now we are back up and running. That should be perfectly fine. We should be evening out. Looks like we are. Okay. Building up Dresden is the next priority. Not really much I can do about that. I don't even think I could upgrade this because we just don't have enough Vesmonium. I could get more, but it's just super expensive, so I think we'll just settle for this. So now it is just a waiting game. Alrighty, we are back. It is wave 5, 15 minutes left until the next wave, obviously, which is good because it gives us a lot of time to prepare. You've probably seen over here, though, I've thrown in 2 more Dresden Crucibles. Yeah, we're gonna need them. We may as well just bite the bullet and put down as many as we can. Okay, so that's 4 Dresden Crucibles. I think, with some napkin math here, this Vesmonium occulter should be making around 2.7 per second, and we are consuming 2 of it to get Dresden, which means we get 0.7 per second of Vesmonium. Luckily, none of the big advanced turrets down here actually take Vesmonium to build. The only thing that really does is the cargo stations and the Vesmonium walls, which we probably will end up using some, but not too many. So there we go, we've got 2 more of those, so that's a solid 2 Dresden per second, because we are definitely going to be needing it. One final thing we do before we go watch the enemies get blown up, hopefully, is we're going to upgrade to an Omphalos core, because we can! There we go. That should hopefully help. Now, I would assume these are all tier 3, no, tier 4s, yep, here's tier 4 land. Yep, indeed it is. Okay, I am going to go down there to the defense to check to make sure that it doesn't get blown up. I have a feeling it will be okay, maybe. I may want to just chuck in some more barite walls, maybe some lithium walls, maybe some obsidian walls, just some walls in general, just so, you know, things actually go to plan. And also, since we have it, let's just chuck in a Dresden wall over here with power, because they do need power, and that will slow down the enemies, make them take some extra damage or something. I'm not actually sure what these do, really. I just know they're good. Yeah, slow field, it does a little bit of area damage. That's about it. It just slows them down, which is kind of nice, but also not super useful. So, alright, well, let's see what we're going to deal with. This guy should just, yep, it gets blocked, everything's fine, and it should just get obliterated. Hopefully. Oh, it's tanking pretty heavily, I won't lie. It did die, So that's good, but it didn't die quick enough. Yeah, that could have been not good. Let's check the tank. How's the tank doing? Oh, God, yeah, these shields are pretty tough, I won't lie. Yeah, okay, but once the shields go down, it's fine. But man, it takes a while to get down. Okay, I'm not concerned about the mech. I think we're going to be completely fine. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. Okay, we need to start working on our actual defense. I am thinking we are going to go obviously up here to the front line. We are going to leave the defense going over here. This is not going anywhere. It's going to stay up because we may need it. But I'm thinking the enemy drop zone is right over here, and it goes out this far. So what I'm thinking we're going to do, we are going to just spam like maybe 15, 20 layers of walls going all the way from here to here. And then we are just going to have kind of like a tunnel slash funnel made out of some weaker walls. So hopefully they'll choose to target those first. And then we will just have thousands upon thousands of Dresden ammoed turrets. I'm thinking we have a whole bunch of Verite back here. We have a whole bunch of Project right over here. We fill this entire area up here with Commodite, raining down fire upon anything that chooses to get close. I feel like that's going to be our best option. So I guess we should probably start building that, although I guess this guy is just about to show up, so we may as well watch this get killed as well. We might as well see it, right? And it looks like we have essentially ran out of ammo. We're going to have to put some ammo boxes down there. And we're going to need some up here as well. We'll get there when we get there. Let's put as many turrets as we can. Let's get as much walls as we can. And let's get this thing planned out. Alrighty, so this should be our little Commodite outpost. There was enough lignite up here to run 4 of these. Now I just need to make sure that the ammo actually does get put into here. It looks like you cannot heavy unload from Commodite, which is not good. Okay, well, luckily we do have this line over here that we can use to supply ammo. That's unfortunate, but I mean, I kind of saw that coming, let's be honest. Now, luckily, they don't do a whole lot of damage, so I feel like this wall is going to hold up, even though there is not a whole lot of power here. That is going to be a concern that we will have to deal with in a second here. I might just want to run a big power line all the way from here, essentially. All right, so this should be all powered now, hopefully. Indeed, it is. Okay, perfect. Maybe we can throw down some project, because I believe, yeah, these only take pressure. So let's see if I can shove in maybe 2 of them. If I can fit 2 of these schematics in here, that would be incredible. I can, but I don't know where I would put the... Ooh, there we go. Let's do it. And then we can put one here and one there. And since we have so much extra obsidian, I'm just going to go chuck in a bunch of obsidian walls right here. All right, so that is that for now. I'm thinking we probably should start throwing in the big walls, although I feel like if we do throw them in, they might just like punch through this because, oh, it's going to be tier 5s. Oh, God. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. Yep. I think it might be time to start just spamming walls in here. And then while that's happening, we're going to start planning out the Verites. These also take pressure, and that's not too bad at all either. And I'm thinking we're probably going to want to put these maybe down here or so. I don't know. It's going to be weird. I don't know where we're going to want to put these. Yeah, maybe just down here. I feel like that might be the best option. Yeah, let's just do that. Maybe we just want to put a huge pressure schematic up here. We just make like a whole bunch of pressure, and then we just run that into all these Verites. I feel like that's going to be a better idea. Let's do that. Alrighty, here we are. Guardian has just spawned in. This is our current defense. 4 Commodites, of course, 2 projects, and we've got 6 Verites down here because we are making all this pressure up here. We are not able to run 6 of them. We're only able to run 5 because I did not actually build this. But the wall's coming in pretty well. We've got menders. We've got power. We need to power this wall. Oh, my God. What are we dealing with for the enemies? Is it one of each? No, it's just the mech. But the mech does have a front-facing shield, which might be bad, so we are going to have to watch this. I tried to put in as many turrets as we could. We've got Cavalier down here. We got some extra obsidian walls lining the place. Hopefully, we will be able to take this out. So let me go ahead and see if I can get the rest of this pressure built out before we start actually attacking this thing, because I would like to watch this get attacked. Alright, how are we dealing with here? It is going to burn through all these walls. That is the point. Alright. We've already... Nope, the front-facing wall is still there. I think we got it. But, yeah, there's a substantial amount of damage going out. And it looks like it's targeting the friction quarries up there, which is usually not good. It looks like it decided to go up. And it still has a shield, by the way. Yeah, this is not good. We are slamming this thing with 4 Commodites and 6 Verites and 2 Projects, and it's still there. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. We finally popped that shield off, and it's getting melted. Okay. It destroyed 5 walls, it looks like, and it was starting to attack some other things up here. So we're going to need to beef up that. We're going to need to put more walls in. Maybe we try to get it to go into the center instead. I feel like it's not because of the way the walls are oriented. That's not too bad. That can be fixed. Basically, now we just get to spam more turrets, more defense, more walls, more everything throughout the entire place, and kind of just hope that it works. So that's what I'll be doing. Alrighty, wave 7 of 9 is here. Another Guardian approaching. Defense has been upgraded again. Obviously, we have 6 more Varites. This time, looks like I do need to put some ammo into this one. I don't know. No, it's pressure. Yep, probably shouldn't forget the pressure into that one. Also got some force fields down. We got a Tralix right here. I've also swapped out some walls with Drayson. Got some Tralix here. I've got a Commodite right here and right here that I'm manually loading. You just chuck 50 Drayson into this little corrosion belt and it gets unloaded into the Commodite. I feel like we should just start spamming these basically everywhere because they're pretty cheap to build and you can just drop 50 in and you'll never have to worry about ammoing them up again. And yeah, I think we might die at wave 9. I have a feeling it's going to be an Ectodon and we're going to instantly get plowed through because it's just going to drive straight through the walls and we're going to die. But who knows? Looks like this time we are fighting an air unit, and it does look like it now wants to go down. I had a feeling it was going to want to attempt to go down this time instead, which is not ideal. I'd rather them have going into the middle, but obviously that can't all be happening at once, so hopefully it kind of just insta-dies here. Oh my, yeah, look at this. Look at how much firepower this thing is taking, and it's just plowing through. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, but there we go. Shields popped off, and it goes down. Luckily. Okay, well, yeah, it is starting to go down, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to swap out basically all of these walls on the south side. Go this way. Don't go down. Okay, well, anyways, I guess we are continuing to prepare, because that's realistically the only thing that we can do. Spam turrets everywhere, make sure nothing can get through. If something gets through, we lose. Back to work. Alright, we are here, wave 8 of 9, 50 minutes again to prepare for the last wave, which I assume is to be... Oh, you know what I didn't think of? What if it's the tier 5 healer unit? Is this an Ectodon? Yes, so this is the Ectodon, so... The next wave might be the tier 5 healer, which is called an X-Pound, I think. Yeah, I've never seen that before, so that means it's probably very, very strong, and we should continue to prepare more defenses. Anyways, as you can see, the entire area over here has been replaced by Drayson, as well as this over here. We've got another force field. We've got a project right here with a single solar heater panel running into an expansion tank to power that thing. Yep. Pretty great. Got a whole bunch more Commodites. I've even got one over here, and I made another core down here to store more resources. And also I decided to put a force field wall thing around it. Okay, whatever. Anyways, let's see if we can take out a Ectodon with this. I'm actually not sure because it has a substantial shield as well. So this could be really bad. Assuming it even wants to shoot at me. Yeah, who knows. And that basically already did a whole lot of damage, so that's not good. Let's try to make sure we are rebuilding things, and maybe it will want to shoot at me instead. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot. It actually does want to shoot at me. Okay, so we're going to try to bait it into doing that, and not shoot at the wall. Okay, it has straight up killed me. That is to be expected. I'm going to try to run up there as fast as I can and make sure that thing tries not to shoot at our wall as much. Luckily, it didn't. And we were able to take it out before it even got through any walls. Wow, okay, so yes, the distraction technique still does work and is quite effective. Although it feels kind of cheesy, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Alright, well, next wave is what I would assume to be the X-Pound. We are probably going to die. I'm going to attempt to distract it, and basically now all we're doing is sitting, waiting around, building up more defenses if possible. Alrighty, well, there's about 7 seconds left. Let's take one final look at the defense real quick. Okay, so I put another project up here. This is kind of like a kind of cell type thing. You put down a project, you put down a little expansion tank, solar panel, and, you know, a little bit of ammo. That I've just been kind of spamming those everywhere. Here's our main defense. I've even got 2 more projects down here. Got another one here. As I was talking about those little cell things, got another one here, got another one here. Solar panels everywhere, comedites everywhere, projects everywhere, like 12 varites. Are we going to survive this X-Pound? Is it even an X-Pound? Let's find out. Here we go. Oh no, it's just all 3 of them. Okay, well, is that better or worse? I don't actually know. Okay, well, luckily this thing is taking some shots, which is good. I don't know if this is better or worse, because that's a lot of damage. What is that? What are they doing? Are they supposed to be doing that? I don't think I've ever seen that little animation thing. Yeah, is that cool? I don't know. That guy's shield's already gone, so maybe the shields are weakened. My core unit's dead. Let's just kind of watch this free cam here. Are we good? I feel like we're losing some walls here. Oh god, okay, this is sketchy. And whatever that was is already gone. Okay, there goes the second shield. Oh. Okay, well, there we go. Sector captured. I think I overprepared for that, I won't lie. Because I feel like this defense right here was enough, and none of the extra turrets I had over here really did anything, to be honest. But you know what? It's better safe than sorry. Mune has been captured. Alright, well, there you go. That is the Eradication Waves sector down. I don't even know if there's any more, and we still do not have access to this locked one. I don't even know how to get that. That's fine. All right, well, I think that's going to be it for this episode. And next time, we'll probably just continue at the South Pole here. We got Abandoned Research Center and Perceptium, both extreme enemy base sectors. So we'll probably just pick whichever one we feel like doing that day. That's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the fixed bitrate, assuming it's even fixed. Goodbye.